Hello, hello, hello. The Orlando Magic are going into the season with only 14 guys on roster. So we have to be very intentional with the two ways that we offer because they're going to be very important in case of injury. That's right, we're talking two ways. This is the Orlando Magic Nation, your source for all things Orlando Magic on YouTube for Orlando Magic fans by an Orlando Magic fan. Just want to thank you very much for clicking on this video and spending a little bit of time talking Magic with me. While you're here, click subscribe so that you don't miss any of the content that I produce and to become part of the Orlando Magic Nation. Also, while you're right around clicking, click the like button because it really helps the channel grow. Lastly, this doesn't have to be a one-way street, so put down in the comment who you think we should be targeting with our last two-way spots. So, if you heard yesterday, we signed Orlando Robinson. So that's he's aptly named, and he's going to be one that's going to be helping us a lot, especially with our depth in the front court. We needed a little bit of depth at center because Mo was going to be working his way back from his ACL injury, as well as right now we're not really trying to have Jonathan Isaac play the backup five. So with Wendell's injuries history, Mo currently out, really the only one is that's left standing at the moment is Goga. So we definitely needed someone to shore up that bit. So Orlando Robinson, who was drafted at the end of 2022. So he spent 2 years with the Miami Heat. Then he was at Sacramento for a little bit of time. And then by the end of last season, he had made his way to Toronto. And as you see, over his career, 111 games, nothing really big to write home about. 4.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 47% shooting, and he can hit a three-pointer here and there, 29%. That was over the course of his career. He had a very limited opportunity when he was with Miami. So when he ended up in Sacramento, there also wasn't that much opportunity. But eventually, when he made his way to the Rockets, he had in 35 games with the Raptors. Hopefully, I didn't say Rockets with the Raptors. He had 35 games and he scored 8.1 points, 5.9 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 44% shooting with 38% hitting from 3-point land. So as you see, with more opportunity, he was able to showcase himself a little bit, but he really hit hard when he the last 15 games he played, which goes from the end of March or the middle of March all the way to the end of the season. In his last 15 games, 11.6 points a game, 7.6 rebounds, and 2.7 assists, shooting 46% from the field and 41% from three. As you see, he's not putting them up very much. He's not a volume 3-point shooter, but still, when you can hit 41%, you got to keep him honest, basically, in there. So for me, this is a big, big, big upgrade from what we had on the court last year. Obviously, with our two ways, we were going much smaller with Trevelin and with Mac. And because we had 15 guys on the roster, so we didn't really need to utilize the two ways necessarily as much. So this year is going to be very different because we only have 14 guys on the roster. We need to be intentional. And this is one where, due to the injury history for a bunch of our guys, we need two ways that are able to jump in whenever we need them. A little bit as what happened last year when Trevelin had to play so much. We didn't have so many injuries in the guard level. That's why Mac didn't get so much. So I think also the Magic use their two ways much more as a means to do good at the G League level. This year we can't really be worrying about the G League level. We definitely need to be worrying about the main squad. So this is a home run for me in a lot of ways. The Magic are going to uh, be able to mix and match. He's able to hit a three here and there. So it's Goga apparently is going to be working on a bit more of his range because Goga can shoot it. It was just something that he hasn't had to do. But now Goga probably should have to because this team is going to be way more looking for three-pointers so that we can continue to increase the output when it comes to our scoring. So if we just to do a little scouting here, this is one of his best games. So this is Orlando Robinson. You see pick and roll against Andre Drummond. He's able to get there. And then here comes another. This one's going to be a three right here, showing his range. I think that's going to be the exciting bit. Someone who's able to more accurately hit a three here and there on the inside. In his scouting report, they said he was a bit undersized, but he's 7 foot, so I wouldn't say he's an undersized. He's a willing passer out of the post, which is a great thing as well. We'll see what our offensive scheme is going to be this year. Last year, there's a good give and go. Last year, our offensive scheme really didn't feel like there was much of a scheme. It was much more the read. There's another three. It's more read and react, and the team just didn't gel. It didn't gel with the guys on our team. So hopefully we're going to be able to be more malleable. So if we have guys that are able to hit from three more, so more drive and kick, which is fine, but a little more motion or a little more screening, that's going to be something that will definitely open up the offense. And the more shooting we have around Franz and Paolo, the better. This Orlando likely wouldn't start if he was to be active or if he was to have to play, unless something real bad happened on the team. So I think that's the the most important thing is for him again off the bench. We need scoring off the bench. If Mo's able to come back and give us something off the bench, that's great. But if not, if he's still kind of struggling and he's easing his way back in, at least we know we have a center here that is able to go in and score. Again, well, depending on what we're doing with Goga, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. So as we watch the biggest attributes you can see from here for Orlando is again he in this game he shot it well, so you can see he can shoot the three. He's a willing passer. He's able to set pretty good screens, and he's not really elite at anything, and not to no disrespect, of course. He's not elite at anything. That's why he hasn't really popped or really hit with a team and stayed on a team for very, very, very long. So that's just he's a perfect guy for us to have at the back of the bench, so that we're able to continue to have positive results while guys are out injured. So he's a great insurance policy for that. So the big news today was that Ethan Thompson, who was on our G League team and was signed for the earlier the two-way deal, he's been released by the team. So that brings us back down to two spots open for the two ways available still. Again, we have three total right now. Orlando took one of them, so now we have two others. So to just kind of recap on maybe why they ended up releasing Ethan, here are his G League. I'm sorry, these are his Las Vegas Summer League stats. As you see, pretty up and down. Shot a total of 29% from the field, 31% from three, and maybe last year when we weren't counting on our two ways, he could go back down to the G League, help the G League team, maybe be called up every so often and contribute to the team that way. But again, this year we can't mess around with our two ways. We need to make sure that they are going to be contributors. We have pretty good depth at the point or the in guards just because of Jace being able to step in. We have Tyus, Jalen, Desmond, Anthony Black. So we have good depth there. We did need some help in the front court. That's why we got Orlando Robinson. But Ethan I didn't really see a path for him really to play again unless many things went bad for the team. And with him not showing out in the Summer League and having okay stats in the G League, I think it makes sense that we move on and we open up that spot and we look at other options for the team. So I was looking at the different rosters from the summer league, and I thought, okay, these are the two that I would pinpoint. One another power forward because we're a bit light on power forward, especially if we're worried about Jonathan Isaac's injury history. So I looked at Cole Swider. Cole Swider, he played on the Los Angeles Lakers summer league teams. He played both in Utah and the summer league team there, as well as the Las Vegas summer league. So here are his numbers total for the 8 games: 18.4 points, 6.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, shot 49% from the field and 42% from three. So he's very much a pick and pop type guy. He's a guy that, as you see, can score. He can rebound if given the opportunity. He's a willing passer. It looks like it's more it goes into him, and he has a high usage. But which again, when you're looking for a two-way guy, that's basically an in case of an emergency kind of guy. That's what you need. The Magic are going to need scoring this year. Obviously, we want to continue to have our defensive identity, but really, Orlando needs scoring. That's going to be the number one thing that we need to focus on this year. If we end up being top five, top six defense, but our offense is actually 14th, 13th in the top half of the NBA. I think that's really gonna make sure that the Magic have a great season. So any contribution will count. So here, this is what I mean for this is why I chose Cole Swider to be the he's a power forward. He would be one of the bigger options again. So we would have a center. I would have a power forward here, and then the second two-way I would offer is Chris Youngblood. Chris Youngblood is a shooting guard. He played with the Oklahoma City Thunder during the summer league. He also played in the Utah and Las Vegas summer leagues. In his 8 games, 11 points, 2.6 rebounds, 1.4 assists. He shot 49% from the field and 47% from three. If you watch the summer league games and you watch the third game where the Magic played the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you thought, man, I didn't really remember hearing this guy's name. You're right. That was the game he had 0 points, 0 points, one rebound, zero assists. So he didn't have a great game, a great showing against Orlando, if you were paying attention at that point. But in the end, if you look at all the rest of the games, basically, he was a contributor, especially the top five or the summer league. So that's where he really contributed, and he did okay as well in the Utah summer league. So we need shooting, like I mentioned. That's why I chose Cole as the power forward. Orlando can shoot the three from the center position, and Chris Youngblood is here as the shooting guard. So right now on the roster, it depends on what you classify Anthony Black as or what you classify Jalen Suggs as. I don't know. These guys really aren't true points. So if we're just going for guards in general, then especially ones that can shoot, I think we should take Chris Youngblood and we should try to sign him to one of our two ways because again, if all heck breaks loose and all of a sudden we're down AB and Jalen and Desmond for some reason, then we can supplement the guard position with a young guy like Chris, who's definitely going to be someone who's going to be eager to prove himself. He's you see he can score at all levels. So in this way, he's a willing defender. He's able to continue the shooting that we need that we want to continue to have at all levels from the bench, from the two ways, from the deep bench, from the starters. We want to be able to shoot all the way around. So, with these two additions, I think we would not miss a beat, or we might actually improve a bit on our 3 point shooting for the rest of the team. So, that's a little bit about the two-way situation that we currently have. So right now we have only one two-way spot currently rostered, and we have two ways available. So we'll see what the Magic do, and once we have news, I'm gonna break it down with some numbers and possibly some. Well, I'm definitely gonna have the numbers, but also some video to see if we're able to be able to see how the guys that we end up choosing are going to be able to fit on the roster. Again, they're two ways, so hopefully they're not having to start because we're healthy all year. But if we're not going to be healthy all year, then we definitely are going to need those insurance policies because we will need to have people active at the end of the bench whenever there's any injury at all, since we have only 14 guys in the roster. So that's it. So again, click subscribe. I'm trying to make a content every single day so that we continue to have magic all throughout the entire off season. And then once we get into the season, then I'll be doing breakdowns of games and maybe watch alongs, or we can watch live. We can have a breakdown of the games. This is still a new channel, so I'm going to be trying some new things. I think in the next couple days or so, I'm going to release a content basically that's going to have a rewatch of the very first exhibition game. So this channel is an opportunity for me to really dive deep into the Magic, even the past, so we can be excited for the future. So stay tuned on all that. Don't forget, click subscribe, and again, in the comments, tell me who you want the Magic to sign as part of our two ways for the rest of the season, so that we have a nice, full, healthy impactful roster. All right. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a great day.